Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon Solomon, and I am going to discuss today the ACA Code of Ethics. And the big thing that I take away with kind of all of the information that we've learned so far, not only in this course, but of all of the courses that most of us have taken for our counseling degrees, is that we need to do things for the betterment of our clients. So that is, that you really need to consider with everything. Like, is this for the best interest in my client? And so on and so forth. And really, ethics goes really deep into that, but there are some gray areas. So, some of the things that I took away from this is that, um, let's see here. Sorry, turn my page. The one thing actually we talked about in psychopathology was informed consent and what happens when you're about to give an assessment and the individual doesn't quite understand or doesn't have the means to understand what they're doing or give an actual informed consent. That's a tricky area because like some things that we would assess, they really can't give an informed consent. So that was kind of something that stuck out to me a little bit. The other thing that is important, and this goes in also many areas of our studies, is that counselors take special care. So this is in section E5 on diagnosing the mental disorders, and that's counselors take special care to provide proper diagnosis of mental disorders. Assessment techniques, including personal interviews, used to determine client care and are carefully selected and appropriately used. I think that one is probably one of the most foundational things if you're going to be in a clinical setting, but even when you're not in a clinical setting, like your clients' care or treatment is going to be based off of your decision. So you need to ensure that you are providing them with proper diagnosis. Now, obviously, we're humans, so we're not perfect. Only God knows what specifically the person needs, but he can use us as tools to help them um, get the best treatment possible, really advocate for them. And we really need to be careful that we're not misdiagnosing them for convenience. We're not misdiagnosing them because we want to adhere to what they're saying. Like we got to be careful for that, especially with medications and stuff. That stuff is I mean, you could be supplying for someone's addiction. Like you don't want to do that. So that's something that we really need to consider. Also, being culturally sensitive. I know that for me, as I grew up in a place that was not very culturally diverse, but then moved to a place that is really culturally diverse. That was an interesting kind of integration as far as being culturally sensitive. And I obviously am not fully, what I should be as far as that goes. I'm never going to stop learning that, but that's a really important thing too, is making sure that you're doing things appropriate and assessing too. With assessing and using the correct instruments and being culturally sensitive is also going to be very important. The other thing is the feedback. As far as feedback goes, you need to be careful with that ethically wise or ethics wise, that you be careful that you're being sensitive to that too, because I think it would be easy to not be. And the also one of the biggest things is the competencies. Like if you're not competent in an assessment, you should not be doing it. Point blank. Like you should not be doing an assessment you're not competent in. So that's kind of what I took away. I hope you guys, take similar stuff away, but probably take lots of different things away. And I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I look forward to hearing your responses.